Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chara Dewey, the Executive Director of Power Filling Incorporated. And I'd like to thank you, my management team, for rearranging your schedule today on such a short notice so that we can have this emergency meeting. As you know, our services, the services that we provide to our underserved community, is essential, especially during our most greatest times of need, in emergencies and disasters and crises. As one of the major mental health organizations in the Houston area, it is our responsibility, it is critical for us to be prepared and our organization to be prepared in all cases of crisis and emergencies. We have seen recently across the nation and here in our very own city that there has been increased terrorism, increased bomb threats happening throughout the city. And it is our responsibility to make sure that we are prepared, that we have planned, and that all of you are comfortable and confident in those plans that we have. So I want to take a moment to go over our seven areas of our crisis emergency planning. We're going to talk about planning in general, partnerships, preparedness, our client and staff safety, mitigation, recovery, and response. So first, I want to talk about our planning. We have made sure that every 6 months, all of our staff participate in trainings such as shelter in place, trainings as such as being able to identify suspicious uh, entities, suspicious items on our premises. We have had trainings and protocols about security, how you enter the building, how you leave the building, our badge access protocols, um, how you report any suspicious or unintended items throughout our facility. And so I want to make sure that, we do this every 6 months, but because of the increased activities and threats that we have seen, I am mandating that every staff complete these trainings this week. So every staff will go and review the virtual shelter in place training and the suspicious identification training. With that, I would like each manager for their division to, once all the employees have completed this training, to set up a meeting where there can be discussion about these protocols and how staff go about the protocols, as well as making sure that the staff understand the procedures that we have put in place to make sure that they're safe and that their clients are safe. So part of this, making sure that every one of your staff has their badge and badge access. You can only access the building with your badge. You can only leave with your badge and you can only enter with your badge. Our security will remain at the entrance of the facility, monitoring everyone that comes in and everyone that goes out. We have also enhanced our computer system, our camera system, so that we will be able to have an even better view of our parking lot and better view of the our most vulnerable places within our facility. In addition to this, our safety department will do a sweep of our facility at least a couple of times a day. These sweeps will be unannounced, and really they're just looking for things that may be out of place, things that don't seem right. And so this is just a step to make sure that our facility remains secure. We have a big facility with inpatient quarters, outpatient quarters, and so we want to make sure that nothing is in our building and staying in our building that really shouldn't be, that can cause harm to anyone. I want to make sure that when we sit down with our staff and we discuss with them their training and any questions that they may have, that we really identify any of their concerns. And if we aren't able to address those concerns with the answer at that present time, if those concerns are brought back to our management group, that we can make sure that we respond to those concerns in writing. We will also begin to increase our drills that we have, our drills of evacuation, our drills of staying in place, sheltering in place. So we will have more of those drills. Also, we will have drills on our intercom system and our texting system. Remember, texting is a major way that we get information and updates out to our clients as well as our staff. So we will be sending some of those texts out. Also, the way for us to practice that system to make sure that everybody is signed up with the system that is supposed to be signed up with that system. We will also start sending out resources with that system as well, so that we have resources well in advance of any event. So this is the major way that we'll disseminate information. We also plan to disseminate information through our website and social media, but we want to make sure that we have the intercom system, the walkie-talkie system, and also our texting system as well. Our safety team is on high alert and will remain on high alert throughout this whole process, so that we know that we're ready to address everything that may go on. I've also appointed 4 staff to liaison positions during this time. So we will have Kimberly Smith, who will be our government liaison person. She will coordinate directly with FEMA, public health, state and local officials and officers. She will participate in those meetings. There may be some of you that may participate in meetings as well, but she will be the point person that she can convey any information to us that we need to, especially being the largest mental health organization in Harris County. We may be asked to provide treatment and services, on a larger scale. So we'll remain in the loop of that planning and be able to execute responses as we need to. Letitia Garcia will be our partner, will be our liaison over partnerships, and she will coordinate with the local organizations and national organizations such as the American Red Cross. And so she will work with those partnerships and coordinate any services or any information that needs to come down, resources or anything like that we need to definitely keep us in the loop of all of that information. Alfred Sham will be our communication liaison. Alfred will track all news, all updates, all communication requests. He will be in charge of sending out approved updates and approved information through our website so that everybody will have much needed information about what is going on. This is a good way for us to disseminate information about any type of false events or any type of factual events, any type of resources that we need to have. Next, Michelle Arnold will be our constituent liaison. She will be over our call center and our programs during this time. We will be standing at the call center where people can call in if they have questions, if they're in crisis, if they have, anxiety, depression about everything that's going on and things that they're seeing in the news. And so she will be there to man that. And one of the purposes is we want to make sure that we are calming people's fears, calming people's anxieties, and their depression. So that's why it's really important for us to have these liaisons where we get information in a timely manner. We're all in the room when decisions are being made, and so that we can help calm the fears of our constituents, which we know due to those anxiety and fears, we have an increase in mental health issues that we have to handle. Michelle will also be over any coordination that we need to do. We need to do responses on site for a particular situation or reason, and she will coordinate all of those activities for us. So those will be our 4 liaisons. Our management team, we know we have another line of communication within us that we can get information within real time. So we'll make sure that everybody has what they need programmed on their phone. and they have what they need programmed on their laptops and iPads so that we can continue to make sure that we communicate with each other and that we have the needed information that we need. In the event of an emergency, if that takes place, we want to make sure that we are prepared with crisis intervention, like we just talked about, for our staff, especially and their families. So we will have crisis intervention available, ready to go for us. We will also have support groups for our staff and our families, and we will have ongoing support groups at different locations that we have identified throughout the county. We have 5 locations, and in your handouts that I gave you, you will see those 5 locations of where we're ready to stand up support groups. And we coordinated with Metro to be able to provide transportation to those locations. We also have coordinated with FEMA to be able to host shelter, temporary shelter, or shelter in place if we had to. So the temporary shelter for staff and for families will be located across the street at the Applegate Hotel. And then we also have temporary housing for those that are in crisis at our Sun Valley Hotel, which is attached to our psychiatric treatment center. And this is also a twofold response, just in case the psychiatric hospital becomes overwhelmed. We have another place where we can section parts of the hotel off to be able to triage people that are in mental health crisis as well. And so you'll see additional information in your packets as far as that goes. Leadership, it is imperative that we are confident in our response plan. We are confident in our overall response to the community. We know that any crisis, mental health is pushed to the forefront, and I'm confident in our plans. I'm confident in you. I'm confident that we will lead and we will lead strong in times of crisis. So we are going to be that anchor for our community, and we're going to lead, and we're going to lead strong and confident. So thank you all so much for your time today, and God bless.